All right, everyone. Steve Metrics here of Db8 Sports. Waiting on our guy DJ TRIGGS to join us here shortly. He's got a few things going on behind the scenes, but he'll be here pretty soon, probably within about 10 minutes or so. So, big news, big news I want to share with you guys. Again, we're here. It's 7 o'clock Central. You can see us on YouTube and Twitter. And the big news today, like you're seeing on our scroll going right beneath here, is that we are back on Facebook. Our Facebook page has been restored. Things are good. Life is good. Pretty ecstatic. Pretty good, awesome news on that. So was a little bit worried the last week or so if we would get our page back, but things smoothed over. It was a glitch on their end. And we're glad that just good things prevailed, and we're here. So pretty excited about that. Pretty excited about our topics we got going on tonight, and about the future of stuff that we have coming up with our podcast too. So got more work going on behind the scenes, and we're pretty excited to be cooking up some more things and figuring out what the future is, and just learning more about podcasting in general is what we're doing. So getting better at this, learning as we go, and building more tools and making things more awesome for you guys and for Db8 Sports. So pretty cool stuff. And with that, I think the main thing we're going to be talking about tonight is the NBA Cup going on. And our team here in Milwaukee is playing tonight, our Milwaukee Bucks. So I got the game on now. We're checking into it, and it's pretty cool that the NBA Cup is actually going on right now. End of the first quarter for our Milwaukee Bucks, who are the number one seed in the quarterfinal, going up against the pretty pesky New York Knicks, pretty solid team. I've always enjoyed seeing Tom Thibodeau be a head coach in the NBA, and Jalen Brunson there is pretty awesome. RJ Barrett with the Knicks is pretty cool too. So definitely going to be a fight of a game tonight. So tough stuff here, and sneaky tough stuff coming up for the Milwaukee Bucks as well in the second round. And I was listening a little bit to Fox Sports today to Rick Broussard on the Colin Cowherd show, talking about the Indiana Pacers being an amazing team in the sense that he's looking at this Indiana Pacers team and saying, hey, they got a guy in Tyler Halliburton who's probably better than Jalen, not Jaylen Brown, but Jason Tatum, almost every single night of the week. So that's pretty interesting. And I thought it was very interesting too that he's pointing out that these smaller market teams are back, especially like the Milwaukees of the world, the Indianas of the world. We go to the other side of this bracket too. We see the Pelicans advance, but still the Kings are a really, really solid team as well. So you got going on there. And then you have the powerhouses and the Lakers and the Suns, and then the Celtics, which just got knocked off by Indiana. So it's pretty cool to see how this quarterfinal is working out, so that coming up we have the semifinals games and the championship games are going to be in Las Vegas a few days from now. So that's pretty cool stuff going on there. And that's how that tournament is showing up to work. So that's what we got there going on, and it's pretty neat. So I guess some of the stuff that we'll be talking about, and again, TRIGGS will be joining us here shortly in a little bit, is kind of how this NBA Cup is playing out. The things that are looking good on it, the things that aren't so good, probably how this is going to tweak a little bit. I kind of see this almost being like the NBA's version of the FBS college football playoff, right? So we're kind of starting with almost 8 teams. I mean, it's really going to be 4 teams once they advance to Vegas. But really, what is the future of this? How are these future tiebreakers going to work? Is this tournament going to mean something more with playoff implications at some point? And is it going to be something that isn't just a cash payout, winner take all kind of award? It is a very cool concept, though. And this is also a concept that I know some smaller leagues that are trying to get bigger, like the Big Three tournament. It's a some kind of tournament that they're trying to implement in order to have a big cash payout prize for the grand winner. So that is pretty cool. And it's cool to see how the NBA is kind of doing it in their own way to compete against that. So I give them props for that. I give them props for being innovative, putting some juice into your regular season and trying to get it to work in a way that is innovative almost each and every season. So there's some real crafty things going on with the NBA, and I give them a lot of props for that. So pretty cool stuff going on there with the NBA. A little bit later tonight, we'll also be doing a little bit about the NFL. So we got some teams that are making the playoffs, some teams that might not be making the playoffs. We'll see about that. So we'll be going on there, and yeah, for now we'll keep this scoreboard on the side here, so you guys can kind of see this Knicks Bucks game that's going on live during our show. So that's pretty cool stuff going on. But yeah, switching to the NFL side of things until your boy DJ TRIGGS pops in here. We had that Bengals Jaguars game last night, and already Cincinnati is showing up into this game without their quarterback, Joe Burrow. And then you have Jacksonville, who's playing this game with Trevor Lawrence and thinking that this game is pretty much going to be a runaway with Jacksonville. But it wasn't. And it really definitely showed its true form when Lawrence got hurt. So this game gets tied. It's 31-31. And Jacksonville, CJ Beathard, he's solid. He's a guy who's been part of that San Francisco group of quarterbacks over the years that have been kind of, I mean, he's been a backup for a long while, and he's been pretty solid. But he's obviously not Trevor Lawrence, so there's going to be some growing pains a little bit here and there. But still, Jacksonville is still going to get by. They're still going to have all the weapons they have, the strong defense that the Jaguars have, and this is going to be a playoff team for sure. So it was what it was. Didn't go so hot, but also got to give a lot of credit to Cincinnati too. And I think this is a really cool reflection of both coaches, how both coaches are offensive minded, lost their starting quarterbacks, have a backup in place, and still have that team and still have that ability to push that ball downfield. So give them a lot of props for that. Not so easy if you're a defensive-minded coach, and we've seen how those teams have looked this season. The Jets, the Patriots, they've fallen into place on that. Even the Arizona Cardinals for quite a bit. And yes, they're looking good now, but could they find themselves out of the playoffs? We'll see. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are clearly one of those teams as well that is in a situation where they have a good defense, they have a winning culture, they have a great head coach, but they have a defensive-minded coach. Plus, they have a team that just terminated their offensive coordinator. So you have a different offense, especially a different offense for the backup now. That's going to get tough. George Pickens actually had a really nice game this past weekend, and I own him in fantasy, so I'm pretty glad to see his results. But that's the thing, is Pickens is a really great receiver, but he's doing it with competition in his own position and also getting very hit and miss play at the quarterback position. So he just hasn't had that chemistry yet. But you can see with guys like him or Garrett Wilson with the New York Jets that these guys are awesome, that all they need is a quarterback. When they get that quarterback, build that chemistry, these guys are going to be absolutely dynamite. They have the quickness. They have the reach. They can run the routes downfield. that's essentially Tyreek Hill without the length. And that guy can run around the field with the best of them. But having these guys who have a little bit of length and can actually fight for the ball when they have to, and especially with them not having necessarily the wheels that are as good as Tyreek Hill, give these guys a lot of props on that. So pretty excited to see how things are going for those kinds of players. But they need the quarterbacks, and it's going to take some time. And we'll see what happens with the NFL draft. It's looking a little different. It's not going to be so heavy. It will be a good 4 to 5 quarterbacks in the first 10, but this isn't like quarterback, start, success. So we'll see how it goes. But it's interesting to see how the offensive-minded head coaches are still thriving in a sense with backup quarterbacks. So that's what we got going on there with those guys, and we'll see what else is going on in the NFL. So that's pretty much what we're talking about there. We'll do a little bit more about the NFL later tonight with DJ TRIGGS. So we'll get that going. But we got some things going on with the NBA. So like we got this in-season tournament going on, and we'll pull up what's going on with the game from last night, right? So I was watching this game for a bit last night, and I thought it was incredibly impressive to see how De'Aaron Fox plays. He's a guy that is really starting to lead this team, really starting to come on, and is doing really, really well for the Sacramento Kings. And I like his leadership that I see with that team. New Orleans just got kind of a better jump on them, especially in the second quarter. But I don't know. There's still something special about this Sacramento team. I think they're really building off that experience that they had last season. They also brought in Kevin Huerter from Miami. He's a really nice sharpshooter they can put on outside. So really good stuff. It's just that the Pelicans just had just a much better second quarter. And as opposed to that, I mean, the rest of the game was pretty much back and forth the whole way, each and every quarter. So that's kind of how it's playing. Zion Williamson is really playing well. I mean, he really looks almost more like a football player out there than he does a basketball player. So I love what's going on with Zion. He's making big plays, but yeah, he just has that bigger size to him that is it's different. It's just something that these guys aren't really used to. So hopefully he stays healthy, and hopefully he can keep bringing that intensity to the New York Pelicans. And speaking of intensity, how about that? There's your boy, DJ TRIGGS.
Yes, sir. Hello, buddy. How are you?
Oh, man. Doing good. Holding down the fort for a bit, but now the cavalry's arrived. So we got ourselves a showdown.
Yeah, children just get sick and do whatever they want. They're nuts.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. But glad you're here, and we're alive and kicking, and yeah, that's no debate. Got some really good news. Don't know if you caught it, DJ TRIGGS, but we are back. We are officially back on Facebook.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw your message earlier, and then when I signed in, it popped up, and I was like, oh, what is going on?
How about that? Yeah, how about them apples?
That's good stuff.
It is, man. It is good stuff because, man, it's some worrisome stuff when you lose a Facebook page, and if you go through the interwebs and the Google machine to see what happens when that happens, it's not good. It's a lot of bad news, and that happens on the internet, but not here. Thankfully, we got real lucky on this, and just persisted to work with Facebook, and somehow they made it work, and we are back online. So yeah, pretty thankful for that. It's pretty cool that we're back. We're back on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So we got all this. Everyone's gonna see our content back up online the next few days, and yeah, we're back, man. Love it.
Well, that's dope.
Yeah, it is, man. It is pretty dope. I'm stoked about it.
I see you were talking about the in-season tournament.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That is,
And it's pretty cool, man. And not only that, we even got our own game going on live here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. By the way, that court is fresh. That is a fresh looking court because I am against the all royal blue Boise State NBA Cup courts, and thankfully the Milwaukee Bucks did not do that. So I'm happy about that. Happy about the play. It's really cool looking what's going on with the Knicks and the Bucks.
yeah. I mean, even like I don't know. I like the blue, so I
I
don't
don't
know.
know,
It's one
but
of those
man,
things.
it's like a Cream City vibe with the blue Wisconsin logo and a minty, fresh banner going from baseline to baseline. Like I love it, man. That's the way to do it. It looks so good. I think it's one of the best looking courts out there.
Nice. Man, you know
Yeah,
what I'm excited about with the in-season tournament? So like
yeah,
even with my like predictions from before, I tried
sure.
to get like a team in there from each conference that kind of would like throw people off because I assumed like LeBron was going to be in this tournament, the Bucks, the
Yes,
Celtics.
yes,
Um,
yep.
I mean, I thought the
Phoenix.
Nuggets, but they were like,
Oh,
nope,
okay.
we don't want any of this. But like,
Yeah.
it's so cool to see the Pacers get some love.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
like one of my favorite players is Tyrese Halliburton. Like even watching him when he was with the Kings, like it was one of those
Right.
things. Like when he got traded, it blew my mind. I was like,
Okay.
what? Why would they do that? Um, yeah, they
Right.
got um, wow Sabonis out of the deal, but like I Halliburton's kind of like an old school. I would say like 90s, early 2000s kind of point guard where like
Okay.
he can score, but he's also going to give you assists. I mean, he leads the league in
Gotcha.
assists. I think he's got like 12 a game.
Sure.
Which another thing that really just irks me, there's only
Yeah.
two players in the league that score 20 points and have 10 assists. Isn't that sad?
Wow. That feels like that should be like at least almost a dozen, is what I would think.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain. I last time I checked, I'm pretty certain it's only Trae Young and Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, they're
Wow.
the only two that average over 10 assists right now.
Okay. I feel like LeBron should be more than that. I mean, like, I feel like LeBron should be part of that list. I mean, I feel like that would be a good portion of his game is scoring plus some good, decent rebounding, but really facilitating.
He is 16th or 18th in the league. He's at 6 assists a game.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
which is, I mean, that's good, but like it
Yeah.
as a point guard at heart, it just disappoints me that like there's nobody averaging 10 assists. Like, I mean, Jokic is
Yeah.
at 9.8, and then Fred Van Vliet is the only other player above 9. So
Okay.
that's interesting. Yeah, like even guys like Chris Paul, Dennis Schroeder, Dame Lillard, like De'Aaron Fox, like that's bananas. Like
Yeah.
you would think with how many shots are going up and how many threes are going up that people would have more assists. But no, it's just people just having isolation plays and shooting threes.
Yeah, that's not the healthiest form of basketball out there. I mean, for me, I like my favorite form of basketball is seeing like that running gun, like Star Wars kind of offense. Kind of reminds me. Again, I'm more of college inspired when it comes to basketball. Loyola of Chicago really implemented that, and there's a few other teams like Miami and Florida. They're definitely a school that does that kind of thing. But like that's kind of my favorite kind of style of offense for the most part. I mean, I'd say maybe gosh, I don't know, like maybe like the LA Clippers back when like it was, or actually no, I can go even further back. I can go like Oklahoma City Thunder when it was like James Harden and Russell Westbrook at their prime, plus Kevin Durant in there as well. That's probably my favorite style of basketball.
So then you should probably be a fan of the Indiana Pacers.
Yes, there
uh,
we go.
so the Pacers are the number one scoring team in the league. They average near 130 points a game. I think it's like
Okay,
they're like 5 or 6 points higher than everybody else. Like it's not even
sure.
close. Uh,
Wow.
but they also are the worst defense in the league. So
Yeah,
they give up
that's a
like
problem.
120. So
Right,
like,
right.
but
Yeah, I mean, like if I bring it back to like college terms, like there's an advantage to being that Buzz Williams kind of Virginia Tech style of flash and dash down court like the Indiana Pacers are. But if you can't lock it down like a Virginia, it's kind of all for naught. And then you're just basically out there running a track meet. And that doesn't always work.
yeah, but like okay, with Indiana, all right, so they actually give up 125 a game and they put up 128. So at least they're
Yeesh.
they're a plus point differential.
Yeah.
But with Indiana, like they're putting up so many more shots and they're actually knocking them down. So like a perfect example is like them playing Boston yesterday.
Okay.
Like Boston was keeping up, and it was kind of like, okay, well, Boston's got a better defense, yada yada yada. Um,
Yeah.
I think Boston's number one in defense, or oh, they're number four. I guess they dropped a little bit.
Sure.
But like, so you expected Boston to kind of keep them where they were. Well, that third quarter, Boston couldn't keep up scoring, and Indiana just kind of like ran away on them. And it was one of those things where you're like, oh, okay, like this is not what we were expecting. They
Yeah.
outscored Boston by 14 in the third quarter, and
Okay.
Boston was up 7 at the half. So like that 14 literally flipped the game completely. Um,
Yeah, it did.
and then like it was one of those where Boston was just trying to keep up. So it was guys
Okay.
just shooting up shots and like shooting up threes and doing their thing. But when Jason Tatum goes 2 for 8 from three, Jaylen Brown goes 2 for 7, you're
Yep.
not going to catch back up. Like it's not
Gotcha.
possible.
Yeah, and I thought I heard Porzingis was hurt. Did he get hurt in that game?
No, he didn't play. He's
Okay.
been hurt for like
So
a
that
week or two.
yeah, yeah. So that's definitely playing a part into it as well.
But
I mean, I feel
I
like
mean,
if Porzingis is there, that's different.
no, not even because so the problem is in a situation like this, I don't actually think. All right, okay. So let's use the Bucks. I know you
Sure.
watch Bucks basketball. Like
Yeah.
like sometimes in the playoffs, like people are like, "Oh, where's Brook Lopez? He's a great defender." Well, sometimes when you have that defender in there, teams will go a little smaller. Look at Boston when they played Grant Williams. Um,
Sure.
but they didn't play Robert Williams. They played like Horford and stuff like that, where
Right.
they're a little quicker. Like Horford's not the fastest anymore, but like he's also not going to just sit in the paint on offense where
Right.
Brook Lopez sits. So
Right.
when you bring a Horford or a like Boston yesterday playing Tatum and Horford as the bigs, and then they played Brown, Holiday, and White, like so um, Horford goes out to the top of the key, and now Brook Lopez can't defend the paint. So it's almost better to put like a Giannis on Horford, where Giannis can move fast enough and get down to the paint faster than Brook Lopez or a
Yep.
Bobby Portis or someone like that. And
Right.
yesterday with Indiana, like Horford only had 2 points on offense,
Okay.
and like he had 7 rebounds, but as the starting center who played 30 minutes, you should have more than 7 rebounds. Well, the problem is, yeah, Indiana plays a big. They play Obi Toppin and Miles Turner. but those guys also shoot threes. And so
Wait, wait,
Horford has to
wait,
move away
wait,
from,
whoa. Hold up. Did you just say my boy Obi Toppin is an
yeah,
Indiana Pacer?
he is. He got
Oh my
traded there at the
goodness.
beginning of the season. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love that. Oh man, I'm gonna have to find me some like Obi Toppin jersey or something. Like, man, I love that guy. Ever since I saw that guy when the Naismith Player of the Year back when COVID hit at Dayton, man, that was dope. I was hoping Obi Toppin was gonna play in that tournament, but man, it was that's the one tournament I really wish we would have had back. Man, I love Obi Toppin.
Huh. I've never heard anyone say that before. Because most
Oh,
people that were Knicks fans were like, oh man, this guy's trash. We wasted a pick on him.
no, he needs time, man. Totally,
Yeah,
man. Totally.
I,
Yeah. Like
I
your
think
boy
he just
Obi Toppin
needed
needs time.
I think he just needed a spot because he was playing next to or behind Julius Randle a lot. And then
Bingo.
they had Mitchell
Yep.
Robinson and like
Yep.
here, um, like Indiana's kind of, well, not kind of. So, all right, back to the problem with Al Horford and like Porzingis and stuff. So
Right.
Indiana shot 47% from 3-pointer
Okay.
and they took 43s. So like, which is normal like for most teams. So like when they're knocking down threes like that, you can't have a big in there trying to eat up space. You need a big in there following guys on the 3-point line. And like Obi Toppin, Bruce Brown, Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Benedict Mathurin, like these dudes are literally just jacking up threes all day.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, and that's pretty cool seeing that Obi's putting up threes and doing his thing. I mean, he has really great low post play inside, and I like seeing that. But yeah, having that added dimension of being able to put up a really good shot, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like, so Obi put up 4, Miles Turner put up 6, Halliburton shot 11, Buddy Hield threw up 6. So, like, Benedict
Woo.
Maxim off the bench put up 7 threes. So, like, these dudes are
Wow.
literally just jacking threes. Like, and
Wow.
when you're hitting them at 50% or 47, like, there's
That's
nothing
killer.
you can do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 50% at three. That's going to win almost every single game. That is
Yeah.
just way, way too much to come back from.
And
And
it's
you have to
perfect.
be, yeah, you're right.
It's perfect because like if you remember me talking about Halliburton during Team USA, well, I was like, oh, this dude's a perfect passer. So like on the transition, he's literally looking for the guy that sprinted out the fastest, and that guy is not just going to the rim; he's
Yeah.
shooting up a three. Like,
Gotcha. Wow.
and
Who's coaching there? Like Rick Carlisle ain't there anymore, right?
oh, I can't even. I'm really bad at coach names, so I have no
Yeah.
idea to be honest.
Yeah. Because I
I can
thought I
check.
remember Carlisle was there and then he went to Dallas and then got supplanted by Jason Kidd. I don't know if Carlisle went back to Indiana, but
It is
oh, it
his
is Rick
second stint.
Carlisle.
Yep, that's
Good
what it
for
is.
him. Nice. Yeah, he has pretty explosive teams, and he like wherever he is, his teams put up a ton of points. So I give him a lot of credit. That's good stuff.
Yeah, and
He's
I
a heck of
mean,
a coach.
right. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, you have to be a heck of a coach to like think of something like that where you go, okay, I have this guy, I have Buddy Hield, I have Benedict Mathurin, I have Tyrese Halliburton. Like, okay, we're gonna run the Phoenix Suns Mike D'Antoni offense, but instead of going to the bucket, we're gonna jack up threes. And if you can catch us, cool. Like, we're not gonna care to stop you on defense. And if you get
Yeah.
hot, you'll probably beat us. But if we get hot, you don't have a chance.
Right. And I think too, this is a team that, I mean, rattling off those guys you rattled off, I think that's a team that if they have to switch it up and play fast inside, kind of like that Steph Curry style of low post play, I think they can do it. I think they got the guys between Halliburton and Obi Toppin. I think they got guys who can play that kind of style too.
Yeah, I'm like they have literally figured out something that the rest of the NBA doesn't know. And
Yes.
the what we noticed about playing the Celtics is like this could work in the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
Believe it or not, if and I hate to say this, but if the Bucks get through, they're gonna have a hard time playing against Indiana. Like,
Yeah. It's like the
because
Miami Dolphins of the NBA.
yeah, if you can't keep up with them, you're kind of lost. But if you do
Right.
keep up with them and you start trading twos for their threes, you're kind of lost too.
Yes. Like you have to be able to defend that three, and then you have to defend those fast breaks inside low in the post. And that's kind of like how Miami can spread you out, but then they can just charge Raheem Mostert or Devin A-Chain right down your throat. And you're like, whoa, we're not ready for that. That's another style of play that comes at you fast that's kind of doing that. And it is what it is. I kind of compare it to like the thing that's really starting to get hot and gain some legs in the college football scene is this, and we saw it too a little bit the other day with the Green Bay Packers game, where you bunch up a bunch of receivers outside, and if you can bring your tailback out there and kind of wing him outside for like a screen pass, it's kind of cool how that stuff works. So if there's a way that in the NBA where you can utilize being deceptive outside to bring in some guys inside to get those points, I don't know. There's something there. There's something special about being able to play in those both styles, but ultimately you have to have speed, and that's definitely what Indiana has.
See, but that's the thing though, is like, so all right, let's just use the game yesterday. So Boston,
Yep.
about a fourth of their makes were 3-pointers. Well, then when you look
Okay.
at Indiana, half of their makes were 3-pointers. So like they
Oof.
don't really play inside. They literally are just like, let's just shoot up threes and hope for the best.
Right. What is Indiana's overall standing though? Like, what's their overall record?
So it's so funny. I was laughing at this earlier because I was looking at it. They they are not like that great, uh, but they're like they're the only undefeated team I think in the Eastern Conference of the play-in. Give me one
Oh
second,
yeah, yeah, that pool play.
which
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
I
is
gotcha.
hilarious.
That is pretty hilarious. Because yeah, I think I'm looking at the record now too, and they're like 11-8
Yep,
in sixth place.
yep.
But that's a tough team to play against, man. Like, yeah, and it's kind of cool. Like this is kind of crafty seeing some of these smaller market teams that are popping into the Eastern Conference and really starting to make some noise between them, Cleveland, even Brooklyn, and now definitely at the top the Orlando Magic. Like it's pretty cool.
Okay, I won't count Brooklyn. Like Brooklyn,
Hey,
so Brooklyn's my like what do you call it? Like guilty pleasure.
yes, yes,
So
100%.
I enjoy
That's no
watching
debate.
like Cam Thomas and Mikal Bridges. Yeah, totally no debate. Like those dudes, Lonnie Walker's another one where it's just
Yep,
like, oh, no one has any idea who any of these people are, but they're putting up 40 a game. Like,
totally.
what is happening? Like, Cam Thomas is on fire. Like,
Yes,
he got injured, came back, and then he's like, yeah, I'll put up 30. Like, what?
yeah. There you go. Man, that's awesome. And to me, like that was when I actually started to like really start to keep my eyes on Brooklyn before they made the trade, before they had guys like Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. Like I actually liked the young guys who you never heard of or the veterans who were coming in there and they were playing hard. And back then they even played the Milwaukee Bucks hard. So it's cool that they're kind of bringing that culture back, and they got these young guys and these players who are like, well, you know what? I haven't really made it elsewhere. Like this is basically like last chance you, and I got to make it happen. So I like that fight in Brooklyn, and plus Brooklyn just sounds tough. It sounds gritty. Also, they have a beautiful arena as well, so I give them props for that. So yeah, I'm totally with you. That is totally the guilty pleasure of the NBA, and I love it. That's awesome.
Well, it's just a bunch of young dudes that got like thrown here because of all the
Yeah,
trades and getting rid of star players, and then they
right.
mixed in like Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie came back, and it's like okay, but who are the rest of these random? Oh, Dennis Smith Jr.'s back. Like, I didn't even
Sure.
know he was back in the league. And then all of a sudden he put up like 25 or something the other night. And I was like,
Wow.
who put this guy on this team? Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I like that. And, I mean, the team that I was kind of hoping to see come back at some point, but I mean, between losing what's his name, Bradley to the Phoenix Suns, and then losing Porzingis to the Celtics, like I want to see the Washington Wizards be a good team, but they're like Brooklyn, but for whatever reason, they just don't have that fight like Brooklyn does,
Oh,
and
no.
they're at the bottom, man.
Yeah, no, they're horrible. Like,
Yeah, they are.
there is not one player on the Wizards that I want to watch. And
What happened?
that's hard for me
Well,
to say because I
yeah,
like
like
everybody.
yeah, and what happened to our boy Johnny Davis? What happened to the guy?
Um, I'm trying to figure out the nicest way to say this. He's
Okay.
not NBA caliber at all.
Oof. Oof.
Uh,
Man.
he was one of those guys, even in college, like he was on he was the best scorer on a team that had no scores. Let's put it
Right.
that way.
That's
And
true. That
so
is exactly true.
once he got to the NBA and everybody can score, he's not everybody.
There. Yeah. Yeah, that's accurate. That's pretty legit. That's a great way to sum that up with Washington. And yeah, I mean, I was just hoping that the combination I had of Beasley plus Durant plus those young guys would somehow happen in Washington. It didn't, and ironically, Durant and Beasley are in Phoenix. So what do you know? There it goes. I was a year off.
Yeah. And bringing up my boy Cam Thomas, though, from Brooklyn,
Yeah,
like this dude, if he doesn't win most improved player, I'm going to lose my mind because he literally went from 10 points a game last year to putting up 26 a game. Like,
nice.
it makes no sense. Like, no one has any idea who Cam Thomas is, and he's like a top 10 scorer in the league.
Oh, I like Cam Thomas. I mean, obviously, I'm going to remember him from playing, I want to say North Carolina, and then he found his way to Phoenix, and then he found his way to Brooklyn. So I like Cam
LSU.
Thomas. Oh,
LSU.
LSU. Gotcha. Yeah. He's a cool guy. I like the way he played, and man, I thought he played really well in Phoenix. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I really liked that young
Oh, no.
team
No,
they
no.
had going on.
You're
But
thinking Cam Johnson. This
I
is a
am
whole different
thinking of
guy.
Cam Johnson. Oh, the wrong Cam.
Yep.
Oh
They're
man.
both on that team, though. They're both on the team.
Oh well, this is just ludicrous. My mind has blown. Brooklyn, you're officially my second favorite team after the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, welcome back. Also, I like the old guy who's got the red long sleeves and kind of goes like this when you're shooting free throws. Totally my favorite. And like they got the Brooklyn chant. Oh man, Brooklyn Nets are hilarious. That is an awesome team. Like them and the Toronto Raptors with the Sheik in the stands. Like those three teams are the coolest in my book.
Yeah. I mean, Toronto's one of those weird teams where, like, yeah, they have Scotty Barnes and Siakam, but, like, they're
Yeah,
thinking about blowing it up,
yeah,
and they're not good enough to, like, win, but they're not bad
yeah.
enough to just tank either.
Do they? I forgot what it was, but do they still have the GM there that won the championship, or am I thinking that he is in another city now?
He's in a I'm pretty certain he's in another place. I have no
Okay.
idea
Do
where.
we? Yeah. It would definitely be cool to know what city he went to because, like, he's a genius, and I know he was paid handsomely to go to a new team. Um, Gosh, I forgot where he went. I almost want to say Orlando, but I'm pretty sure the previous GM of the Milwaukee Bucks is actually in Orlando.
That's true. Uh
Also, a little shout out going back to my limousine driving days. I actually drove him.
Nice.
Yeah, he was a really cool guy, real easy guy to talk to. And I think I had him one of his last few weeks that he was with the Bucks before he took the job in Orlando. So yeah, I think his name's John Hamm. I want to say, or
Hammond.
something like that.
Yep.
John
John Hammond.
Hammond. Yep. Yeah, but awesome guy, really down to earth. Yeah, I know he trouts from Kenosha, and yeah, he loves that ice cream shop, the Spot, downtown. I think that's like Highway
Oh,
50 or 76th Street in Kenosha. So really
yeah.
cool joint if you gotta get some custard and burgers or something.
So his name is I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like
Yeah, it's
Masai
tough.
a jury. Um,
Yes.
he is the president of basketball operations for Toronto.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Wow. So he even got promoted.
Yeah, yeah, he's the president. Yeah, that's nuts. I did not know that.
Good for him. Kind of like what's his name? Our guy who used to be the head coach of the Boston Celtics, getting promoted
Brad
within the
Stevens.
organization, Brad Stevens.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's cool, man. That is pretty cool stuff to be so dominant in your sport at what your job is that your organization promotes from within. And we've only seen it. Well, we've seen it twice now in the NBA. Haven't really seen it much in any other sport that I can think of.
yeah, and I mean he's set for life. I mean he basically got a team that never sniffed a championship and won it.
Sure.
So they're probably like so in debt that they're just like, here, take our whole team. You and
Yeah.
Drake.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I think him and Drake, they'll figure this out. I think this is a team that is going to figure it out. I think it's a awesome place for players to play. They're going to get their next Kawhi Leonard one day. I know they're going to get that.
Scotty
Um,
Barnes.
Scotty Barnes, man. Exactly. So they got it. They can figure this out. It's going to take some time, but that's a team I totally believe in at some point is gonna figure it out.
Yeah, I think they just wasted money though, and they had no choice, like paying Siakam and not paying Fred Van
Yeah.
Fleet. Wow, I can't talk.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then like drafting Scotty Barnes because they were bad, and like
Right.
yeah, I just especially in the next 5 years, that team doesn't have a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bummer with kind of how they did things. So yeah, I want to see that team get back to their winning ways, but I think too it might. Do you think they might need a better coach than who they have now?
Um, no, because they had Nick Nurse, and like yeah, he moved on, but I don't really think it's the coach. I think it's like the office putting together the team that they have. Like it's just
Gotcha.
not it. It's one of those things where like a market like that, they basically put all their chips into the table or into the middle for Kawhi and getting that championship,
Yeah.
and then they're just horrible,
Gotcha.
and that's what
Gotcha.
happens, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. It is
they
what it
only
is.
have they only have one player scoring 20 points a game.
Eesh. That was a
Yeah,
team that used to have 5 or 6.
yeah, it's
So
bad.
yeah, it's pretty rough going on there. So yeah, a little shout out back to our Milwaukee Bucks playing right now, and it looks like right now we are at halftime. If I pop that game up here, and it looks like we got a 3-point edge on the Knicks for the moment.
Oh my
So
gosh. Look at
we're
that
getting there, man.
score. That's
Look at
insane.
yeah, that is pretty insane for halftime for a game. So yeah, it's wild. But yeah, I mean, Milwaukee is definitely taking a step back on defense, but it looks like that offense is really stepping up. So I feel like if we're having a big games out of Giannis and Dame Lillard, that I think that will carry us. I think we have more staying power than the New York Knicks do, but we'll see.
I mean, we're basically Indiana, but better. So Indiana's the first ranked offense. The Bucks are third. Uh,
Sure.
And then defensively, the Bucks are 23rd and Indiana's 30th. So
Yeah, there you go.
But at least
Yeah,
we know we can play defense. Like if it comes
right,
down to it, we can throw a
right.
Giannis on someone or
Yep,
like a Brooke
Brooke.
Lopez on a big. So
Yep.
at least in that rate, um, I guess Indiana's got Bruce Brown and Miles Turner. So I don't know.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Yeah, there's something to be said on that. So I like it, man. Yeah, it's looking all right. We'll see if we can hold up, but yeah, it's looking pretty good there. So yeah, pretty cool. So I think we got a good amount of NBA content on the night. Um, Anything else you were thinking about, DJ Triggs?
Oh, I mean, just for local funness,
Yes,
the Milwaukee Brewers. Did you see what they did?
I thought I saw that like the the finalization of the agreement to keep the team in Milwaukee for basically the next 3 decades and increase like a sales tax a little
Yeah.
bit and some other revenue that's stream that's working for the state is working out.
No, I mean even more recent than that.
Oh no, that's the
So,
latest I heard as of a few hours ago.
do you know Jackson Churro?
I do not
Churio.
know that.
So
Mm-mm,
he is
no.
the number 2 I said churro, cheese.
Yeah,
Cheerio.
right?
Uh he's the number 2 prospect in baseball. Like
Okay.
this kid is a stud. And I mean he's literally 19, so he's like exactly a kid.
Yep.
um but they signed him, which is insane. He got the largest contract by a player that has no MLB experience. So he signed an 8-year, $82 million deal.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then on top of that, it has um, two team options, I want to say, for like 26 million after the 8 years. So
Okay.
we would basically have him until he's 29 in his prime doing his thing. And
Yeah.
the guy, I mean, he's been putting up crazy numbers.
Sure.
What's the
But
oh
that's awesome.
it's $25 million is the club option.
Okay. But
So
still, I mean that's awesome. And that goes
yeah,
against what people have said that young guys aren't getting paid. That is exactly what needs to happen right there. I mean, it's definitely going to be underpaid over time, but you
right.
can't say no to 100 million over the next 10 years.
And
Like,
that's the thing. If he even like remotely like blows up, man, $10 million is going to be super cheap.
yes, yes, exactly. So stuff like that is awesome. And I mean, for a guy like that, I mean, if he can learn how to manage that money right and invest and keep that dough rolling and growing, that's how you do it.
Yeah, at 19, he made it up to AAA. Between AA and AAA, he was batting 283, 22 22 home runs, and 44 steals.
That's how you
That's
do it, man.
insane. Yeah,
That is pretty insane. That's like kind of reminds me of almost like the rise that like Ryan Braun was having back when he was coming out of college out of Miami. Like there was stuff like that going on. Like it's pretty cool.
yeah. I mean, if the dude can, I'm not expecting 280, but 44 steals is nuts.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's that is an insane amount of stolen bases. If you can get that, that just means you're always going to be a threat when you're out there on the bags.
Right. And hitting, 20 home runs, like, is not the easiest thing in the whole world.
Totally, man. Yeah, that's pretty baller stuff right there. So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Cool.
Yeah,
So
that's all the good news
yeah,
that I have. I'm excited about.
that is the good news. Yeah, that's the good news that I'm excited about too. And Even more excited too that we're back on Facebook. Like, I'm still blown away by that. I didn't think that would happen. I had some doubts, but yeah, I'm excited for us, man. I'm excited we're back on all three platforms that we've been streaming on. We got more things coming in the works. Got some work that I'm doing tomorrow for us and for our show. So yeah, stay tuned, guys, and stay tuned to our social media posts. We have more coming again on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, all that stuff. We have all that stuff coming up. It's taking some work, but it's taking time, and we're doing it the right way. So I think that's pretty good stuff we got. So I love it, man. Hey, Triggs, what video game you got for tonight?
That's a good question. Oh, this is the one. It's like Neo.
Okay.
Bum bum bum.
Ooh, Mortal Kombat trilogy. There you go, man. And obviously for me, being the fact that my birthday is in November, obviously my favorite guy, being a Scorpio myself, is Scorpion. Like, he's just the best.
That's completely understandable. I could rock with Scorpion back in the day. I like Baraka just because he's different.
Baraka, is that like the lizard guy or something, or what is Baraka?
Baraka's the guy with the blades on his arm.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff, man. But yeah, I liked how Scorpion like he removes his mask, kind of like what people have done with like the Oakland Raider logo. Is if the guy removes his mask, he's actually a skeleton. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy stuff, man. So no, that's cool. That is a pretty dope game. Yeah, that Mortal Kombat trilogy, awesome. And I always love too when you go for like the final move, the fatality or something. Sometimes you can actually bring the arcade game actually down on your opponent. That's mind blowing. That's no debate.
I was a big arcade Mortal Kombat guy back then. Trilogy is probably my favorite Mortal Kombat of all time. So
sure.
That's how I get down.
Yeah. I know they've been bringing it back recently for I think it was the PlayStation 5 actually just came out with something not too long ago. But yeah, like whenever they bring it back, it's solid. They put some good stuff into it. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the like adult superhero cartoon Invincible. One of the lead characters in that show, they brought back in Mortal Kombat as like DLC.
Ooh. Okay. Nice. That's how they do it, man. That's pretty cool. That's a cool collab, and that's awesome. That's a great way to do it. That's good stuff.
I think his name's Omni-Man or something. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not up to date on that yet. So
it was literally like the wife put it on, and I was like, "What is this?" And then we start watching. And then we got hooked, and we're like, "Oh, all right, season 1 out of here." It's on Prime. I think it's on Prime.
Amazon Prime. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I've seen the ads for that. So yeah, that's kind of cool, man. That's good stuff. So cool. Buddy.
What's the belt looking like?
Oh, the belt. Now that we can say our Facebook mystery has been solved, if I can.
Do you have a Zuckerberg belt?
Oh yeah. Actually, I just ordered it. It's on its way via Facebook Prime shipping, and it'll be here tomorrow. But in the meantime, we got a Scooby-Doo. We got the Scooby-Doo belt because I love that belt, and it's blue and it's cool. It fits the color scheme, and that's no debate.
Yeah. Boom.
So boom. There you go, guys. So for that, you got myself, Steve Metrics. You got your boy, DJ. Yep.
There I am.
There he is. There's your boy. There's DJ Triggs. So you got us both here. Again, you can see us on all these platforms you see going below us and scrolling. So you got all that stuff there. You'll see us back here next Monday, next Tuesday on all those platforms. And we'll be back then. So, yeah, that's